Hey, this is old Uncle Mark back in the mothership. Playing through a different amp. I actually built this one. This is a Fender Champ circuit, and anyway, a little screen door screen. It's an accordion case, but it's a Fender Champ. It's got 3 tubes in it. Kind of like my other amp. I use this as my spare. My other amp's in the car, getting ready to go to a gig. But I got asked a question about practicing and how to make the most of your practices. So when I tell my new guitar students how they should practice, I think there are 4 ways that I think you should practice. And one way is goof off. And what I mean by goof off is you are just fooling around with the fretboard. So you're just doing things like and in that way, what you discover is what notes are sour, what notes tend to work together, what little phrases tend to work together. So you can sit here and go, I'm not sure about that. How about this one? Well, I kind of like that, you know, I'll crank it up a little bit. I like that little phrase. Can I do something else with it? Oh, that sounds good. Goof off with your instrument, and you can do this without. Try to figure out where things are. Also, work on phrases that you know. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, you know. You know, little things like that, and work it out and start listening. You don't need to be plugged in to do this. You can do this while you're watching television. You can do this while you and your wife are sitting back in front of the fireplace. You can do this outside while the kids are playing a little volleyball. You can do this kind of stuff almost anywhere. You don't have to be plugged in. Just noodle around. Learn the neck. Learn what sounds good and what sounds bad. That's what I call fooling around practice. And you can do that anytime. You can pick up the instrument, and I also tell my students to make sure it's sitting out. Let the guitar shame you into picking it up. So pick it up, sit there and go. Just noodle around. Twilight Zone themes, the Munsters, any type of thing you can figure out, and work it, and you'll teach your ear what you want to hear. And by the time you plug it in, that may be the beginning of a song idea that you're writing yourself. You know, the Black Keys are making a living off doing this. Just like that, they're making a living off of it. I think it's absolutely amazing and wonderful. But that's what they're doing. And this comes from just playing and noodling. Okay? Now there's another kind of practice. This is that was the goofing off kind of practice. This is the next kind of practice where you're actually going to take an idea and give it some weight. So we sat around with this. Now I'm going to give this song a little bit of weight and work this thing out a little bit. That sounds like really familiar. What do I want to do with that? Now you're doing a little bit more. You're plugged in. You're thinking about what you found, and you're actually shaping it a little bit and color. That's not it. You know, you're shaping it with a little bit of color. That's one kind of practice. I like that. That's taking some ideas that you've learned noodling around and fooling around with them. And sometimes you get nowhere. Okay? Just remember, sometimes you will get nowhere. And sometimes you'll figure out a phrase and really dig it, you know, and you're like, wow, there's a great phrase. What can I do with that? Where can I go with that? The next kind of practice is actually taking a song that either you know or you see on YouTube on my lessons and shaping it out. I call this woodshedding. You're woodshedding the song. So you are getting into the nitty-gritty of the parts. Say it is Smoke on the Water. You're getting into the parts. You know this. So you're getting this down so that you don't have to look. Look at here. You're getting your hands used to this motion. You're learning the chord shapes. You are getting this section. Smoke on the water, fire in the sky. And you're practicing these parts. Okay, so you're practicing a lot of parts. You're actually going to run through the song in its entirety so that you know you can at least get a grip on the wholeness of it. You run through every set of lyrics. You have posted your lyrics somewhere. You've got them on the computer. You're looking at them. You are going through the entire song. Okay? You are working out all the little parts, though. Working out all those little parts, okay? And you're starting to put it all together. Once you have a finished product, then you have what I call rehearsal. Rehearsal is the last phase of practices where you take this song, you are going to sit down, you are going to note for note do it exactly the way that you are going to play it live. Whether you play it live in front of your children, whether you play it live in front of an audience of 1,000, it really doesn't matter. Or it's just your wife. Or it's just you. So I have been known to rehearse in front of a mirror so that I am actually looking at an audience. And that audience is really critical of what I do. I mean, you are your worst enemy. You are your biggest critic. If you can pull it off in front of you, then you can pull it off in front of anybody. You are the worst critic. You're the one that'll disparage you the most. If you go out and play in front of anybody, they will love you. Trust me, this is just the way it works. They will see that and love you. They will see the work you've put into it. But here's the thing. Now you only have so much time. How are you gonna squish all of these types of things? So one, noodling you can do anytime. You can do 5 minutes of noodling. You put your guitar on a stand and you put it somewhere where you see it constantly. So now you have to go to it. You have to go, and even if you got 20 seconds, you're tuned up, your acoustic going. Okay? So you've got those little noodling parts. You're going to watch the Super Bowl. You're going to watch every damn commercial? No. You got guitar time. You're going to watch every March Madness game? You may turn on the TV, but you don't have to see every play. Noodle time. Tennis. You don't have to see every play. Noodle time. Use your time, extremely valuable. I have one student who gets to practice only when she drinks coffee in the morning. So she gets up, makes her coffee, has 10 minutes to noodle around. Those are the moments you can noodle around. You don't need an amp. You're not waking anybody up. If you need to set your alarm 15 minutes sooner, just to give yourself 10 minutes, give yourself 10 minutes. You know, it depends on how much weight you're willing to give your time. Sit-down practices. Have an agenda. You know, take your noodling time and go, okay, that's a song I want to work on. I want to work on One Way Out by the Allman Brothers or Smoke on the Water. Boom. Have a freaking agenda for what you're going to practice. Okay? It does you no good to sit there and tune. And now your half hour's gone. Have an agenda. Write it out. I am going to work on this song. Then the next day, say, I'm going to work on that song and I'm going to finish it. I am just going to finish it. And do your best. Because that's all we can do. And remember, there are times when I will take parts out of songs that I can't do them. It's okay. You know, you don't have to do solos. You don't have to solo at all. You can leave the solo out. It's cool too. You know, if you're not ready to do the solo yet, get the damn song done. You know, you can always take the solo later. You can always play with it some more and woodshed it a little more later, but at least have it in the bank. Get yourself 5 songs that you have in your back pocket you can pull out anytime you want. Get yourself to that point. You got 5 complete, well-rehearsed songs. That's your goal, is 5 songs. That way you can go to any open mic in the planet and do 3. Your best 3 out of 5. Then, once you get 5 good ones, add 1 and take 1 away. Now you still have 5 songs, but you got this one in the bank, right? Then do it again. Now you take 1 away. Now you got 5 songs, but you got 2 in the bank. All of a sudden, you're going to have 5 great songs, and you're going to have 10 in the bank. That's my thinking behind how to practice, how to form it, how to shape a set list. It's a slow process. Let it be slow. It will never end. This is going to go on forever and ever and ever. And you're going to learn a new song, and you're going to take 1 away, and 20 years later go, hey, I remember that. I'm going to play that now, like I'm doing this now. You know, I just was playing noodling around yesterday and found One Way Out. I know the song in its entirety, but I would have never found it had I not sat around and done some noodling. So these are important little parts to a whole. So I hope that helps, and I hope you enjoy these lessons, and I hope you get a lot out of them. This is why I'm doing this. I teach a lot, so this is my goal, is to get you guys on board with a system that works for you and gets you where you want to go, your goals. What are your goals? You define your goals. You know, what is your goal for next year? Is your goal for next year to do a whole set for an hour? Well, okay, how do I go about achieving that? Through this model. Okay? Get yourself 5 songs. Okay? It starts with 1. You got to noodle around. You got to work on a song. You got to woodshed it until you nail it. Now you got to rehearse it, and you got 1. Okay? Your next practice, you're going to noodle around. You're going to woodshed a song. You're still going to play the 1. Now you have another 1 in the bank. And you're going to keep doing that. And it's a process. It's not an end result. It's not something that you can just get to. It's a process. And it just keeps accordioning out. And it's as big as the universe. So I hope this helps. I will do more of these types of videos on how to do these things and how to noodle. And, you know, I just wanted to get this out because I was asked this question of how I teach people how to practice. So if these work for you, there's a paypal.me/Uncle Mark Tips down below. I thank you all for your donations. You guys have been way beyond. Your ideas and suggestions are fabulous. Subscriptions, sharing on social media. I can't say enough. You guys are just awesome in every way. Thank you so much. This is old Uncle Mark from the mothership. Take care, guys.